Hi guys, Harden here, back with another Eve Echoes video. It's been a while since I've done one, and this one is a little bit different. It's a little bit kind of salty. It relates to the new AI course that Netease brought in about 10 days ago now or so. Yeah, unlike Captain Benzie and many other in the community, I actually thought, okay, let's withhold judgment on these and let's see how they work. As you guys who follow my channel are aware, I'm a dad, I've got 2 kids and a kind of full-time job, so my active play time is normally limited to maybe a couple of hours in the evening and maybe a little bit of time at the weekend, so I don't really have that much time to play. And so the idea of having this kind of AI core that could actually do some of the kind of really boring stuff for me was actually really kind of appealing, some way to kind of keep up with those people who can actually play the game pretty much full-time. So anyway, as you know, I have my little fleet of ravens. I went out and I got the golden core on all 3 of those. Again, primarily, and I'll just show you here, primarily for the kind of extra stat that you get, which I thought was kind of very worthwhile in terms of the damage. Sorry, it's a bit laggy here. So I'll just quickly show you this. Did that work? Let's try again. There you go. So in this case, I got the extra 22.5% missile torpedo kinetic damage, which kind of boosts the overall damage of the ship. As you can see, my thermoenergetic is already kind of boosted up pretty well, and the kinetic damage will do even more, especially when I finally get my implant to level 30 and I can actually switch on the kinetic mode, because I think on the basic side you can see there's actually already a kinetic boost there of 10%, and then when you combine that with the 22, and then if I'm able to use the kinetic mode on my implant when I get to level 30, that should really boost the DPS of this ship. So that was my thought. So I did go out and get the golden core on all 3 ships, just primarily for this. I thought it kind of helped speed up ratting and doing other kind of things. I didn't go and get the AI core immediately, and I just kind of thought I'll just experiment with it on one of my accounts and see how things go. So I did get that, and I did kind of start using it on this Raven. As you can see, this is just my my kind of high sec encounter missions fit, which is kind of rapids, which basically have the best kind of damage application, and then target painters, because even on those kind of missions, a lot of the kind of rats don't even come in range, so I find that the webs are of no use. And this is cap stable already, so I don't need any Nosferatu or anything like that, so I just find actually putting those target painters on just boosts the damage as well, albeit it doesn't really make that much difference. I will probably get a salvager at some point. And then in the low slots, 1 shield booster and 2 shield hardeners, and then the 3 ballistic controls, and that works perfectly well. I kind of run missions on that. The T10 encounters, when I'm running them myself, I can go in. The tank is the cap stable. The ship is cap stable. It kind of gets through the missions pretty quickly, not as quickly as some of the kind of pimped faction ships, but still pretty decent, and yeah, I'm quite happy with it. So I thought I'll try it out with the new AI mode, and honestly, for the first 4 or 5 days I was quite happy with it. I mean, it does stupid things. It'll warp in, sometimes it won't activate the shield, sometimes it will activate the shield, sometimes it doesn't put the ballistics on, sometimes it doesn't use the target painters. So it's little things like that. And where I'm based is also, it's 2 systems next to each other, so it's not a pure high-sec island, it's like a double high-sec island, and for some reason the AI likes to jump between the 2 systems, so it'll do one mission in one system, then jump over to the other, do the other, which obviously kind of impacts the ticks and everything. So but regardless of that, it was still making a reasonable amount of money ISK for me. If I left it on kind of overnight, it would make around 300 million over the course of like 24 hours, which considering that at that time I was probably sleeping, was actually very nice kind of income. So I kind of thought it was worthwhile. That was until about 2 days ago, and basically I'm just going to pop into Discord here, because this is where I've got the information. Basically my ship got destroyed while using the AI. Now, again, I know that at the beginning, a few ships did did get lost, that they had kind of done some tweaks and tried to improve things, and things seemed to be working quite well. And again, in the first 3 or 4 days, I certainly had no issues with it, and watching it didn't seem to have any kind of risk associated. It seemed to run quite stably. However, I came back, I think I'd left it for about 20-30 minutes, wasn't watching it, doing some other thing, probably playing EU4, came back to the thing and discovered I was in a pod with this 10 million ISK lost mail. Now, the ship I had installed the AI on was one of my integrated Ravens, and which you could probably say is a bit foolish, but I had tested it. It seemed like it was working okay, but there you go. In the end, it kind of died, and I lost a lot of expensive rigs here. So you can see here, I think 18 semiconductor memory cells, 12 warhead califaction 3s, 12 bay loading accelerators, 6 core defense field extenders, 18 capacitor control circuits, 6 core defense chargers. All were lost in that loss. So you can say I was probably a little bit salty about that, especially after having got that AI core and from Netease. I was aware that there was some risk, but again, I kind of thought it was reasonably safe. Now, just to kind of put a little bit more context in this, I discovered the ship about 20 minutes after it was destroyed. I had another ship nearby. I went and collected the stuff that had dropped, and then I docked up. About 20 minutes after I docked up, I got this system message, which you can see here. Since no new target has been found for a while, the AI has automatically stopped to conserve energy. So, as you can see from that message, which is a system message, it basically is implying that the AI was active when the ship died. And just to clarify, the ship died in the first wave of a T10 Expert Encounter, an encounter that really is no bother to it at all. I mean, it does these kind of encounters in its sleep, especially the first wave. Third wave could kill the ship theoretically if I don't actually start killing stuff. It can actually break the tank, but the first and second wave cannot break the tank even if I don't do anything. And the third wave, as long as the ship shoots stuff, it won't break the tank either, and rarely loses less than, goes down below 80% shields. So again, why I lost it why the AI warped into that encounter and then didn't activate the shields, didn't activate the hardeners, didn't activate the guns, I do not know. And as you can see here, the ship still had plenty of fuel here. So you can see there was about 28 hours of fuel on the ship. So anyway, I wasn't kind of very happy about this, and I did message Netease, and I'm just scrolling down here. Let's see if I can find what I actually sent them. Sorry. I thought it was a bit closer. So I just want to kind of share this. Oh, okay. So hang on. There was another one first. I must have missed it. Hang on. All right. Here we go. So they came back to us and said, "Dear pilot, thank you for contacting us. We are sincerely sorry for the issue you encountered. Regarding a problem with ship destruction when using AI, we've made a check and confirmed that there's no bug detected," which is a kind of standard thing Netease always kind of says when you have a loss. "We applied for a special chance of recovery after consulting our team. Do you agree to use special chance to recover your ship? Meanwhile, please be kindly noted that the integrated rigs drop below and items in the cargo hold will not be in the recovery scope, and the special compensation can be offered only once. If you agree with the condition, please use your insurance points to recover the ship and create a new ticket to contact us again. We will help to reimburse your insurance points after receiving the new ticket. Thank you for your support and patience. We'll appreciate if you can evaluate our service." So basically, I was not very happy with that because I've got about 67k IP saved up, and the majority of the value in that ship was in the integrated rig. So basically, I had lost the ship on a mission that basically the AI should not have died on, and basically all Netease were doing is saying we will return your IP for you. So I then kind of put together a reply, which I'll read for you here. Thank you for the reply. However, I'm not satisfied with the response. The ship was using AI at the time of the destruction. I checked afterwards, and there was still 24 hours or 28 hours of AI fuel in the ship. Also, after dock my pod, I got the in-game system message. Since no new target's been found for a while, the AI has automatically stopped to conserve energy. This clearly indicates the AI was active. At the time of the loss, it was the first wave of a T10 mission that my ship is capable of tanking eternally, as long as the shields and hardeners are activated. The AI did not activate the shield and hardeners. I therefore am requesting that the rigs lost in my integrated modules are also returned, and these were, and I've just listed those, these were lost not through my own fault, but an issue with the AI system that Netease has introduced and I paid real money for. Please compensate the loss, or I will have to express my unsatisfaction, and so on. So thank you, look forward to your response. Okay, so that was my going back to Netease. They then replied, and this obviously it looks like they just did not read my message at all. Dear player, we have reimbursed you the insurance points. Please kindly check if your IP balance due to the function of the customer service ticket. If you have any other questions, please send a new ticket to contact us again. If not, we'll much appreciate if we can evaluate our service. Thank you. So basically, looks like they just didn't read, whoever their customer service representative didn't read my previous message that I wasn't bothered in the IP, that basically I wanted to get the integrated rigs back. So, and still no real explanation about why the ship was lost. So again, moving on down, this is my response to them again. My issue is not resolved. Did you read my last message? I do not care about the IP refund. I have 67k IP saved up. What I do care about is the rigs in the integrated rig module that were destroyed because your AI messing up. This ship is 100% Netease. This ship loss is 100% Netease responsibility. The ship was in AI mode and it warped into the first level of T10 Expert Encounter, which the ship is capable of completing with no issues. The AI did not activate the shields and hardeners, nor did it ever engage the enemy ships. I know the AI was active because because 20 minutes or so after I docked the pod, about 40 minutes after the ship destruction, I got a system message telling me that the AI was being deactivated. This means at the time of the ship loss, the AI was active, and you know it. You're trying to deny any problem with the AI mode and placate me with IP. But if I had known my ship was integrated rigs was going to die while using it, I probably wouldn't have got the AI mode, or at least equipped my ship appropriately with the understanding that the mode could kill it. This is 100% your responsibility, and I do expect the rigs destroyed in the integrated module are returned to me. Alternatively, please do refund the Aurum that I used to activate the AI mode, which was sold under false pretenses by Netease. I look forward to your response. So again, this one, it took them a lot longer to respond to. Again, took quite a while for them to actually come back, and eventually they did, and they actually came back with a very lengthy response. So they obviously did read it this time. So, dear player, thank you for contacting us. Given it's a disappointing experience to face such a situation in gameplay, we deeply understand and sympathize with your upset regarding the issue. However, after multiple time checks by our team, we've confirmed that in this case of ship destruction resulted from the AI usage time running out, which made the ship stop, causing it to get destroyed. Kindly take attention to the in-game info, please. Now, I could be wrong here, and please feel free to correct me in the comments. The ship was fueled. It had the relevant crystals. There was 28 hours or so in there. So I think what they're referring to here is something that they mentioned in the original, when they originally were launching these, that said that there is a daily kind of usage limit for this kind of mode. But I am unaware of any way in-game to track how much time you have actually used in that mode. Now, it's possible that I have missed this, and if I have, then I apologize. This kind of video is a bit pointless, and I've made a big mistake in doing this. But honestly, I have not seen any way of being able to track other than potentially kind of noting the time down myself. So basically what they're saying is that my ship had hit the daily limit, and therefore the AI mode deactivated. Now, again, that's a bit funny because, as I said, I did receive a system message about 40 minutes later saying the AI mode was now being deactivated. Don't know why I got that. That might be some other bug that is part of this system. But basically, if we as players, and again, bearing in mind that using this system, you're probably going to be doing it while you're AFK. It's like you potentially turning it on when you go to sleep, so you can earn some money while you're sleeping, or it could be when you're not really paying attention to the game. It might be you're at work and you're just letting the game play by itself. But in any case, I'm not sure if there is some in-game warning that pops up when that time is limited, but that assumes that the player is there to see that in-game warning pop up. There is certainly, as far as I'm aware, no way of actually checking before you activate the AI mode how much time, daily usage time, is left. If I had known that there was only 20 minutes left or 30 minutes left, I wouldn't have activated the mode. Secondly, if the if the daily usage limit is hit while you're in the middle of a mission that your AI has warped you into, you would kind of think logically that your AI wouldn't just simply turn off immediately, but it would finish the mission or encounter that it's on. Again, I think this is kind of a common sense sort of thing, but apparently not. Apparently your AI will just simply stop. So if you hit this daily usage limit that you're not sure of exactly when it's going to kick in, your ship in an encounter or in a mission can simply stop shooting, can turn off all its tank, and you can lose that ship. And that seems to be what Netease is saying here. And again, if I am wrong, then do please kind of let me know in the comments about that. The other thing is, you kind of think Netease could implement this in such a way that if you have got less than 10 minutes, 15 minutes left on the AI usage, that it simply doesn't warp you into a message. But certainly if it does warp into a mission or an encounter, but certainly if it does warp you in there, it should finish and make sure the ship is safe before it suddenly turns off. So again, I think that's just a basic common sense thing here. So anyway, just continuing what they said, we do understand your feelings about losing the integrated rigs, and you must put much effort into them. If we can take any action to help a loyal player like you, we will do it without any hesitation. But in this situation, we're afraid that we couldn't offer help with your request. We have noted down the situation and your feedback on the AI function, and we've passed them on to our developers as a case for further development and adjustment for better gaming experience. So basically what they're saying here is they seem to have noted that there is a problem with this system, and they've passed it on to the developers, but they're not willing to help out, even though they seem to acknowledge that there is some kind of issue here. We never overlook the in-game experience of every player. Please believe that we are always working hard to optimize a better gaming service for every gamer like you, and your feedback is our concern, and we drive to make improvements, which is all very nice kind of PR speak. We do understand your feelings about losing integrated rigs, and that's just repeated. That's all repeated. We sympathize that it can be frustrating to suffer loss in the game, but we still cordially hope your passion for the game would not be spoiled, which, to be honest, it kind of is when you get this kind of response. So anyway, to sum up, I have kind of responded again here. Further to my previous message, dear Netease, I am again not satisfied with this response. I note that you now state that this loss resulted from AI usage time running out. If this was the case, why did the AI warp my ship into a new mission and then turn off? There is, but please correct me if I'm wrong, no way of monitoring how much daily AI usage is left, and as such, there is no way of knowing if the AI mode is going to switch off in 5 hours, 1 hour, 5 minutes, or 5 minutes. 2, if the AI usage time did run out, why did I get an in-game systems message some 40 minutes after the ship was destroyed, notifying me that the AI was now being deactivated due to the lack of activity? That implies that the AI was actually still active at the time of the ship's loss. 3, my ship had sufficient AI fuel for another 24 hours. If the AI usage time is different, please tell me how I, as a pilot, can be aware of how much time is left so I can avoid such a situation again. 4, by its very nature, and I assume many other players do not sit monitoring AI activity, as we tend to use it as a convenience when doing other things. As such, surely there should be some automated way to ensure the AI system does not warp a ship into a dangerous situation if there is only a limited amount of time, i.e. 30 minutes of usage left. Or if the AI usage does expire when the ship is in the middle of an encounter or a mission, the AI should at least complete that mission before deactivating, leading to a ship loss. I am aware from the initial announcement that some kind of AI usage time was being set, but I do not see a way to monitor this which would enable me and other players to judge when or not to use the AI mode. I still feel that this loss is 100% due to the shoddy implementation of this feature by Netease. I used the AI mode for almost a week, but every benefit was wiped out by this loss, with no warning that I could see from Netease that this exceeding the AI usage limit would put my ship in danger. I therefore once again ask for the return of the rigs destroyed in this incident and some kind of confirmation from your side that this issue will be corrected so that neither I or other players suffer needless losses caused by this AI system suddenly shutting down. I look forward to your response again. So anyway, guys, I thought I would share that. Basically, if you are using the AI system, well, if you're not using it yet, well, honestly, I thought it was working quite well. I was quite happy with it for those first 5 days or so when I was using it. But as I've said here, basically everything I earned was completely wiped out by that loss. So certainly if you are using a bling ship in there, or you are using a ship with integrated rigs that you cannot recover, then you really need to kind of decide very carefully if you actually want to get that AI, activate the AI mode on your ship. Again, it's possible that again, I'm not sure what time limit the daily usage was. I have a feeling that Netease originally said it was like 16 hours a day. I'm not sure if that's correct, because I certainly don't think I was using it for that kind of length of time. But unless you're going to monitor it yourself and kind of stay at the computer, which are kind of defeats the object of the AI mode, then you really need to be very careful that you could end up with the same situation where basically your AI will warp you into a mission or an encounter and then just turn off with no in-game way of seeing when that was going to happen. Again, it's possible, and I didn't see it because again, I came back 20 minutes after the ship was lost. It's possible that maybe 5 minutes before there was some in-game warning that flashed up that I just didn't see. But again, I certainly didn't see anything on in terms of any stuff in my kind of messaging. But anyway, guys, I thought I'd share this with you. I hope it's helpful. I am still, as you can see, I'm still in a tussle with Netease. I don't know if I'm going to get my rigs back. Probably not. But I did want you to kind of be aware that this is the sort of situation that's happening. All right. Anyway, sorry for this ramble. I hope you found it useful and interesting. Take care. Good night.